Shalom. Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BASHAM, WAKWAK, QUDASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the mighty Akim YAHAWAH who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawa coming at you. Another lesson. Psalm chapter 62, verse 10. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. So today's lesson is going to be on something on Esau gradually trying to make people accept, what's that thing called? The practices of the MOTB. All right, so basically the inspiration to do this lesson actually comes from Nintendo's new Switch 2, which I already was not going to get it, but now I'm even more so not going to get it. And actually I know one person that I know that said that they're not going to get it because of the new policies and the new user agreements that they were having. And it's just like when I hear from the stuff and like how they're implementing their new system, I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, like, it is very clear, like, the direction that this society is going as a whole. All right, because when one of these big gaming companies do whatever practice, like having games be $80, which that is absolutely, like, that's just straight up robbery. Like, that's crazy. They're trying to make a regular brand new Switch game $880 USD. All right, that shit is crazy. All right, but basically the thing about that is, in general, how the Switch works is basically because they've been having, there are people that put mods on the Switch either for fun or for illegal purposes, like going into the Nintendo store and then just downloading the games and getting all the games for free. All right, that's been an issue, but it's not necessarily a big issue. Speaking in my not so professional opinion, because it's very hard. It's very hard to modify and break open your Switch and stuff like that. I believe I've heard people literally said that. Me personally, I didn't do any of that, nor do I take part in that. When I had funnily enough, when I had a Wii U, I did mod the Wii U, and I did partake in Slocky. Bear with me one moment. I did partake in modding the Wii U and messing around with some things, but overall, that was a lot easier. And Slocky, there's a big difference between modding and actively like going in to play Slock. Alright, Slock, yeah, there's a big difference between modding your Switch and literally stealing the games from the digital store. Okay, there's two different things. So that's two different things, and I never stole any of the stuff, nor do a lot of the people that I've seen Okay, that I've seen, keyword I've seen, all right, nor do they necessarily steal the game. They actually pay for the games, and then they just add like skins and whatnot in certain games and or whatever. They do that. They don't necessarily cheat. Or the people that I know specifically, we don't cheat when we play games. We just put a different skin and whatnot. And the thing is, if there's like an update or something like that, and the update downloads with when the update downloads and show and you have mods on your thing, what you would used to do is that they would make your Switch be unable to play online. But now, basically, for the new the new stuff, the new user agreements, it's basically okay, well, if we catch you using mods, or if you attempt to modify your Switch 2, then you can't. The Switch 2 is completely locked, like it's shut down. You can't use it for offline. You can't use it online. You can't use it at all. You literally just cannot play the Switch 2. It literally just becomes an unusable brick. That's basically what they do. So you can't. It's like in addition to that, they're basically like repoing, in a sense, your Switch if they catch you doing something that they don't approve of. And in addition to that, there's also the new game cartridge things, which it's all digital. It's not. If you buy a physical copy, okay, Slocky, if you buy a physical copy of the game, they're not going to give you I think either they're not going to give you the actual physical card to put in the Switch. They're going to give you a code, or if they do give you a physical card, that physical card is only good for you to download the game digitally. They don't have games, Slocky. They don't have games for you to just stick it in and then just play it offline, completely offline. You literally need an internet connection in order to use the Switch 2, which I don't know how real or how applicable that this is, but there may be some people that really don't have easy access to internet. All right. And some people just in general, they just maybe want to just play offline, or maybe they just want to use it while they're on the go and whatnot. And yet, if you don't have internet and you don't have access to the stuff, which I don't know why they would make a portable device require internet in order for you to do it. Now, I say all this to say, like, this is the gradualism in terms of them wanting to implement stuff not just in something as trivial as games, but in everyday life, in everything that we do. So if they start off on your video games, and Slocky, that's another thing I want to point out, is with Nintendo is actually one of the corporations that have benefited off of slavery. All right, so let me actually get that. Oh, wow. So Nintendo uses prison labor So yeah, they basically use modern day slavery. But they made a Black Lives Matter tweet while using prison labor. Slock, yeah, I thought that was funny. But yeah. Okay, but yeah, basically, wait. Well, whatever. Anyway, the main thing is just in general they have benefited off of slavery, and one thing is that this is it's like a Nintendo is one of those major mega corporations, all right, that will find any way to cut corner and try to cut costs, but at the same time trying to find their way to make more money. And that's another thing. As a matter of fact, I mentioned the prices. All right, I just learned, I think last week, that the costs to make like physical video games are less now. Like the price has gone down, but in reality, the price of video games like 20 years ago, I think it was like $40 or $50, but now it's like $60 now. All right, it was $60 now, and then the price of Nintendo to Switch 2 games specifically are $80. Okay, they're raising the price up, and then they said that they're going to reconsider the price, maybe raise it up more, because that was without tariffs. The average price of a Switch 2 game was without considering tariffs. So now they feel like they need to raise it up more because of the tariffs. All right, like, so this is the thing. Like, this is actually like very crazy, and this is like daylight. This is like literal robbery, especially given that, off the top of my head, in terms of content, there's only like 2 games that actually has a lot of content in it, and that's the Nintendo Mario game and the Zelda game. I think those are the only 2 games that actually have a lot of content in it. Given, albeit I will admit that I did not play either of those Switch games or most of the other games. I just know from hearing of people that there's a lot of content and there's a lot of stuff in it. So basically, people are paying. Nintendo expects people to pay $80 for a bare bones, like barely stuff in it, all right, game where it's just like you're really just giving your money. And the funny thing is that the Switch 2 actually sold out. Okay, they sold out within an hour, I think. And honestly, I don't think it's because people actually. Well, there are a lot of people that are dick riding, but there's also a big amount of scalpers that are buying games rather than actually buying the consoles rather than actually getting it. But anyway, continuing on back to how this links into the MOTB. The thing is that with this new digital system, the digital is Esau is trying to gradually move to digital stuff, make that be the new norm, make people think, okay, what? If you want to do stuff, if you want to do anything, you have to download it on the internet. You have to do it digitally. You have to do this, that, and the blah, blah, blah. All right, and then on top of that, what we know with the new currency that they want to incorporate that is a big thing with with digital, like the digital currency. As a matter of fact, I think I heard Donald Trump said that Donald Trump wants to change American currency. Yeah, April. He says he wants central banks to adopt digital coins. Okay, so they're trying to gradually incorporate that. And the thing about this is that with digital stuff, with just like I gave the whole big exposition with the Slack at me verse, because I don't feel comfortable continuing to talk without bringing the Lord back into it. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And this is one of his devices, gradualism. Okay, trying to show, hey, like this is uncomfortable. You like these things, right, guys? And one of the big things is with the gaming stuff. The Nintendo Switch 2. All right. That's primarily a console for children. It's like that's primarily a console for children, and kids, they can't, or they are least likely to modify their Switch, and they are least likely to really care or understand about the whys and the pros and cons, and why that this digital stuff is not is okay and whatnot. And the only reason, even though I don't own a Switch myself, I still realize how that is problematic as a consumer of video games, because Nintendo's like one of the big three, I guess, or the top of the big three, maybe, possibly. In my eyes, no, they're not. But I think they're number 2, because I don't fuck with Microsoft. But I think I prefer Microsoft over Nintendo in terms of. Anyway, that's irrelevant. But the main thing is that in general, if the big dog Nintendo is doing all this stuff, and trying to nickel and dime and prevent their consumers, whatever, from enjoying stuff, and saying that, Slocky, that was another thing. They're giving licenses, okay? Like you're being given a license to use the Switch. You're giving a license to play a game. It's not you don't actually own the Switch. That's why as soon as you do something that they do not like, hence they're going to say, okay, you know what, you modified your Switch, you did this, okay, well, the Switch is hard locked and hard shut down. You cannot use it at all. Like, it is literally a brick to you. You can't bypass any of the security things. You can't open it up or whatever and stuff like that. It's literally just, we revoke your access to using it. And that's another thing where most people don't really know about this law in America, but in America they are able to confiscate people's property, like be it your car. They can just run up in your house and take shit, just like how not like how police run up in people's houses for no reason, but worse than that, like it's legal for them to say, hey, we just suspect you for whatever, we're just gonna go in and take your shit and whatnot. All right, that's literally what they can do. All right, they can just say, we suspect you, or it's for national security, we're gonna just come up and do whatever we want, completely disregarding your right to your privacy, completely disregarding your right to your own property. And that's the exact same thing that Nintendo is basically kind of doing right now, where they don't give a damn about your concerns. They don't give a damn about the fact that you paid $500. I think it's $500 for a freaking console just for where you don't actually own it. All right, and lots of people were making jokes about that, but yet still, again, like it baffles my mind. It genuinely baffles my mind. I understand liking something, like if you're a Mario fan, like you love Mario. Mario is your favorite thing in the world. Okay, that does not justify the terrible practices that they are doing. It just doesn't make any sense. Even me, Slucky, even me, I love freaking Capcom and some of their games and stuff like that, but if they start saying some crazy shit, I'm gonna say like, okay, you know what, that's kind of wild. I do not fuck with that. But yet you got literal like content creators and figureheads and stuff like that, like Nintendo ambassadors or whatever, that are straight up, and when I say, yeah, I think that might be the best term, but you got people literally saying like Nintendo's going crazy, Nintendo's so great, Nintendo's this, that, and the third. Like they are actually just like, they're dick riding Nintendo, just saying that they can do no wrong. And it's the exact same way. Like this is the reason why I'm doing this, because this is the exact same parallel that they did with the jab. Okay, let me also get this. I just remembered this. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise his word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Verse 13. Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. Okay, so this is basically trusting in oppression. Okay, you have these rich ass niggas. Okay, let me get this. Proverbs 22 verse 7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Okay, you have these people, these rich people, that are being viewed as they can do no wrong simply because, oh, Nintendo makes good games, oh, this, that, and the third. Like, have some decency or something like that. Like, I mean, I can imagine. I mean, Slucky, at the very least, you know, I know you need to get paid, but like, you could at the very least say that you don't approve of something, or you could say that, or you can just not say anything. Okay, you can just pretend like you didn't see it. All right, like there are different ways to, you know, just not be supporting evil and wickedness. It's like people, they'll do anything for money, and on top of that, they are very foolish. They're just dumb, and that's how Esau wants people to be dumb. And that's another thing that's a part of the society where people are incapable of independent thought and actually doing any sort of research to understanding, is the thing that's going on right now, is this very wise? Is this safe? Is this okay? All right, like, because the thing is that so many people, again, as I said before, so many people you know, do and want certain things, because that those users agreement, even though I don't personally modify my stuff because it's too much work, but the thing is, the fact of the matter is that I don't like hearing that I'm only gonna have a license to play certain things. I'm only gonna have a license to do X, Y, and Z. Like, I don't actually own any of the stuff. It's like, what the hell? Like, what is that? Like, what type of behavior is that type of thing? It's kind of like disrespectful, if you ask me, because like I actively gave you money to be able to use something, to buy, keyword buy, all right, to purchase a product. I didn't purchase a license, okay? But of course, there was that one quote. I slack you, I'm not gonna say the quote, but basically, the Esau's trying to make people say, you will own nothing and be happy. I don't remember what the name of the dude is, and I said the quote, but that's basically how they're trying to get down, okay? It's like you, and Slack, that's another thing that's a part of this society, which is the whole credit system, where you borrow money and you have to pay off loans with interest. Like, that's just how things are. You don't actually, and even if you own, like, let's say you own a house, all right, even then you don't actually own it. Even if you paid it off, you don't have to pay any more payments and stuff like that. You still don't own that house, because you still have to, because Esau can still just come up and say, we're gonna repossess your stuff. Okay, like it's crazy. Slack, it's crazy. So continuing on, Baruch chapter 3 verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Okay, so yeah, we are subject to payments, as I just said. The whole credit system, and not really owning anything, and that's how the MOTB is also going to be implemented. After people get used to this gradualism, they're going to gradually accept this type of behavior, this type of practice, where okay, well, it's fine. We had this in our games, we had this on our phones, we had this on our everything, our credit cards. So yeah, why not just have it in everything, all right? And then we can just put it in our hands so that no one can steal it. So we and it's cool because we have technology, all right? So yeah, that's basically it. And this was, again, this whole digital thing, it's not is definitely it's definitely a link to the MOTB, and call LAWAYA that we're getting just that much closer to the end. And even though I still think I'm a little afraid in terms of how gaming will be, but at the same time, I'm happy. I will be happy if this is a big catalyst to getting us out of here faster. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, with Kwakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, about ball, and Shalom.